Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone. This is the Tardis Zone Talks, and it's finally here after waiting such. Well, we knew it was going to come at some stage. We kind of all predicted that we'd definitely get this announcement, didn't we? Lots of people in the chat did predict that this would be the next announcement. So well done to you guys in the chat. Um, you know, uh, I have to say, I am very, very, very happy um, with his costume. Um, so, for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, this is Ncuti in his costume in all its glory. Um, as soon as it pops up on the screen there, I'll big it up there, make it even bigger for you guys so you can see it. So, just bear with me. Everything seems to run very slow when I do this. So there you go. There is his costume. So he's got a long jacket. He's got the old trousers to match the jacket. He's got some brown shoes. I think they're a hybrid of a shoe or a boot. I'll show you Millie's costume as well. Millie is actually wearing similar kind of boots or big rugged boots. Um, the orange jumper. Now, I obviously Lee was the one that alerted me that this was announced because I'm just after watching the last episode of the Traitors. So I have been keeping an eye on Twitter all day, but these things happen. But I have seen people, and Lee mentioned it as well. He's not sure about the orange jumper. I reckon the orange jumper won't be a mainstay. I think what will happen is because most doctors, Christopher Eccleston's doctor did it as well. He wore different T-shirts and stuff like that. So what I don't have an issue with the jumper myself. Lee's observation of it is that it looks a bit too low. Um, which, if you look at it, is a bit of a valid point there. But you don't know what you. I mean, look, I have noticed something and I have observed something very unique there. So David Tennant for his costume, if you notice, he's wearing the check trousers. Obviously, Um, oh, it's telling me that this is unresponsive. What's going on? Well, it'll respond. That's all I'll say. Anyway, so they've got their Highland trousers on. I love the jacket. As I said, I don't really care about the jumper, to be honest with you. I better stop sharing this because for some weird reason, the Twitter is acting up. So let's see if I can put it back up again. Right, there we go. Everything seems to be okay. That happens. That's weird. Let's throw it back up again. And I'll show you the other photograph because there's two photographs released, folks. Two photographs released. Let's hope now it doesn't do this again. There we go. Seems to have loaded no problem this time. So let's put it back up on the screen for you there. Have I noticed though that he's wearing a chain? The doctor is wearing a chain. I'm pretty sure he's wearing a couple of chains as well. Be very interesting to see what those chains are. But look, I have to be honest. I'm pretty impressed by the costume. He has his mustache there. I think he's gonna knock it out of the park. I know the costume is not what will convince people, but I think it's a decent costume. It screams Doctor Who to me. And again, Twitter is actually acting up and saying it's unresponsive yet again. So before it does actually, no, wait. Let's see if it'll let me go to the other photograph. I don't know what's actually happening here. This is mad. Um, I'll have to stop sharing. I don't know what's going on with Twitter. Twitter is acting up. Yeah, it's become unresponsive again. Exit page. Yes, of course. Reload. What's going on? Elon, get your act together, mate, because I tell you one thing. The other side might have been doing dodgy stuff, but it wasn't glitching this much, I can tell you that. So get your act together there, mate. You know, you're a billionaire, so sort it out, man. Anyway, I'll show you the other photograph before it becomes unresponsive again because, Twitter is unstable at the moment. So here is the Okay, here's not the photograph of Millie Gibson and Ncuti. Well done to her. There you go. So there you go. She's got a light blue denim jacket on. I used to wear them in the 90s. I used to be a huge fan of denim jackets. I had a Wrangler one, had a Tommy Hilfiger one, I had a Levi's one. Did I mention Wrangler? I think I had a Wrangler one as well. I loved me denim jackets back in the day. She's wearing shorts. Look, obviously her costume, the companion's not going to be wearing the same clothes all the time. So, but this is obviously going to be the first costume that we're going to see her in, and the two of them just look like they actually have great chemistry. They're smiling away there. People were complaining. Some people were saying the short hair symbolism and all of this other rubbish. Shut up. You know, you don't know what you're talking about. This is kind of like women go around with short hair kind of nowadays. It's the thing. It's the fashion. Just because, I know, the radical leftists out there, most of those women have short hair, but they dye their hair pink, green, yellow, or whatever color they can think of. But there's nothing wrong with having short hair, and I think Millie looks absolutely wonderful. She's got the rugged boots on as well, so it's quite it's quite nice the way they've kind of have the two of them wearing kind of rugged boots. Because Shooty is wearing boots because you can see there behind her, you can see he has his knee up because the way he's standing, and you can see that they actually go up. So he's wearing boots as well. Look, I'm impressed with the costume, and he is actually wearing two chains there. So it'll be interesting to see what the jewelry is. Obviously, when he's putting this costume on, when we see him for the first time with his new costume, because RTD makes a big deal out of that, so it will be a big scene. And it'll be interesting to see what the jewelry is. Is a family heirlooms or whatever, you know what I mean, from the doctor's past. That will be very, very interesting, indeed. But look at this reveal now for me has set it in stone, right? If there was, look, I said I was gonna watch it, I was gonna support it, I was gonna give it a go and see what happens. But I am pretty happy there, and I think, look, it's what I kind of expected from RTD, to be quite honest with you, and it looks great. It looks great. Now it's up to Shooty and Millie there and RTD and his team of writers now to show us how good these two can actually be. Because in their individual work that they've done away from Doctor Who, they've been highly successful. So let's see if RTD can pull a rabbit out of the hat again like he did in 2005. But I tell you, I actually love that costume. I really do. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait now to see what RTD and Co have in store for us. But we've got the costume. We now know that the TARDIS interior is actually legit. The leaked photographs, it's actually legit. It's not a hoax. It's not fake news, as people would say out there. It's legit. We obviously posted the photographs up here on YouTube and on Twitter, and in both cases, the Twitter account I was locked out of my Twitter account for posting these photographs on Twitter, and then BBC Studios then with a legal takedown, which I showed you all when we did the stream. They took it down because basically the photographs that you've seen, the concept photo, and then the other photographs of the TARDIS interior are actually legit. So we've got the TARDIS interior. Obviously, we haven't seen the finished article. We have only seen the concept and the building the TARDIS interior, but it has been leaked, so we kind of have an idea of what it's like. And I'm pretty sure that would have been the next, obviously, the costume. I'm pretty sure the TARDIS interior would have been next thing on the list to do, because obviously, they're right now filming as we speak. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I cannot wait to see what they have planned. And remember, this is to come. We have the 60th anniversary to come first with David Tennant and Catherine Tate and whoever else is going to show up in that 60th. And I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of surprises in that 60th, including Doctor cameos. It's a 60th anniversary, man. People are just speculating and guessing who they think the Doctors are going to be. But it's a 60th anniversary. Anything is possible. But let's see what everybody has to say about the costume. So what I'll do is, obviously, I'll don't tell me yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the shout out, see who's in the chat first. Then as soon as I finish naming all the names, then I'll ask you then to tell me what you think of the costume. So we got Queen Charlotte in the chat, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Don't do that. Fucking computer is acting up. We got Nicholas Horton in the chat. We got Draw and Jack Rabbit in the chat. Melina is in the chat. Who else have we got? We've got JFO in the chat. And he says, Noel, you should watch the video also. Well, we can't put the video up on the YouTube channel, so we got Renee in the chat. Also, welcome. PD Rich in the chat. Nice to see you, pal. Nice to see you. Who else have we got? We got Leland in the chat as well. So I think I've gotten everybody. If I have missed anybody, because the chat has been jumping, but I'm pretty sure I got everybody. If I didn't mention their name, please let me know and I will give you a shout out. Don't worry about that. So yeah, if everybody can now give me your opinions on the costume, and if you want to comment obviously on Millie as well, please do so. So let's see. I think there's a couple of comments. So we'll just scroll up a little bit. So we'll start off with PD Rich's comment there, and I'll throw them up. So we've got it's minimal, like Eccleston's, but I think it's about time for a minimal costume again. Yeah, well, Jodie Whittaker's was so in your face, wasn't it? And there's so much going on with that costume, but I agree with you. Let's see. Some people mentioning how the costume is quite like David's. I would say there's definitely a connection anyway there. Melina says, I love how he looks like a classy modern doctor. I have not seen the pics of the interior. Unfortunately, you won't get to see those pics, because if I was to throw them up again, because I still have them, if I was to throw them up again, I'd get into trouble, and I can't share them. It's dodgy. So, but it looks great. Leland says, let's see, I like the frock coat, though the color scheme reminds me of Mr. Toad. Really not liking that orange top. Yeah, a couple of people are not liking the orange jumper or top or whatever you want to call it. But remember this, folks. That will, as far as we've seen before with RTD, that top will change over the course of the show. Just like David Tennant changed up suit and stuff like that. It will change. It will change. But I'm liking it the way it is. Maybe Lee has a valid point in the length of the jumper. Maybe if it was a little bit longer, it wouldn't, you know, I don't know. But I look, I'm happy with it myself personally. So that's where I am on it. So everybody has their opinions on it. Um Leland on the companion. The companion looks like yet another modern council estate character, which is disappointing, hoping for historical era. Well, in fairness, you're saying it could be council estate, but rich kids dress like that too. I wouldn't be, we don't know yet. I do agree with you with the modern companion. It would have been nice to switch it up, but we don't know yet. She might be wearing modern clothes there, but we don't know how she's going to meet Shooty. She could meet him in the past. We don't know. She could meet him in the future. So we have to wait and see. Queen Charlotte says, I really like the sense of old and new with Shooty's costume. Yeah, I absolutely agree there. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, I absolutely love it. I said earlier, it looks very doctorish, but also very shooty. Yeah, he's definitely influenced the costume. Definitely. And I said that to you, it'd be no surprise if he has influence over his costume. And I'm kind of glad he has. Um, Tardis time. Hi Nolan, everybody. After looking at him now about it and the pictures for a while, I'm happy with the costume and I think it suits him well. It gives off a professor vibe, like Seven to me, says Tardis time. Lee says it's a bit boring, but it's something I would happily wear. Not sure about the orange jumper. Looks like it would ride up and show his belly. Put it away, shooty. I mean, I love how he says it's a bit boring, but it's something he'd wear. You know what I mean? Um, but I can see where you're coming from because the color scheme is all similar, and if people were to be highly critical, they would say there's no variation. But as I said, that jumper is probably not going to be a mainstay. That'll probably be the thing that will be swapped out to give the costume a bit more variation. But I get your point. I get your point. Let's see. The chat just jumped there, so there we go. Tardis time, like I said, we'll get variants exactly. Uh, the Gallifreyan nail art is a no-no. Tardis time thinks they're actually tattoos. We'll have to see, obviously. Um, Bobby says, I'm not sure about the orange, but the rest of the costume is pretty doctorish. The coat reminds me of Matt Smith's professor coat. Yeah, it's the same length. I would argue it's the same length of David Tennant's coat as well, actually. Um, which was probably not a bad idea. Um, Sally says the orange sweater is no way near as worse as the Sixth Doctor Colin Baker's Technicolor Dreamcoat costume. I'd agree with you on that one. I don't like anything of Colin Baker, and that includes his costume. But they have done variations for different for Big Finish and stuff, and those costumes looked absolutely amazing. But the original costume, I agree. Let's see what JWC Reviews has to say. And he says, I'm not sure that the orange jumper is horrible. Would have preferred a suit in a more somber color, bit horsish. Bit I know what you're saying. Close horses. I can't say it properly, but I know what you mean. Um, yeah, I think a photograph is kind of deceiving, isn't it? It's because like when we look at Matt Smith's costume, that was a bit deceiving as well. But when you saw him in action and running around, we'll just have to wait and see. I will say this though, his doctor will stand out. His doctor will stand out quite a lot. Uh, I'm just trying to get people that haven't commented, obviously up on the screen. So I'm kind of scrolling through. So WND says it's decent. I like the traditional modern twist. It could have been a lot worse. Let's be honest. Um, Fair point. There's definitely going to be different variations of the jumper. Yeah. Um, no, there's a video, yeah, but I can't put it up on the YouTube channel because I'm on BBC's radars right now. So I can't step out of line. You know, the photographs are there for everybody to see, so they won't mind that because they've actually released it. Now, if I had actually thrown those photographs up before it was released, I'd get into trouble. I can't show the video because they probably have a copyrighted anyway, and anybody that shows the video will probably be hit, and I can't afford another hit, so I'll have to watch that video, unfortunately, by myself. Um, let's see who else we have in the comments there. Um, yeah, but Rabbi can play the video because obviously his channel's not monetized, so he can get away. Of course, he can get away with it. I can't get away with it. I'm not taking the risk. I've already got one on me channel now, and I'm not taking that risk. I'm sorry, even if it's up there, I'm not. They'll limit the stream, or they'll put a strike on it just to be the BBC. Not taking the risk. BBC is BBC when it comes to that kind of stuff are as bad as Nintendo. Right? And BBC are very inconsistent as well, right? Very inconsistent. I remember they took when I did the Spyfall stuff and they put it up, right? They literally banned me from streaming for 2 weeks. This time round, they didn't even do that, right? But they put a strike on me channel. That's the weird thing. They put a strike on me channel, but yeah, I'm still able to stream. So it wasn't a proper. It is a strike, but it's still not. It's not. If you think about it, it's not really a proper strike. It's weird. They're inconsistent. So I'm not taking the risk. So people will have to watch the video for themselves. I'm sorry. Let's see what Daniel has to say, and a lot of you are saying, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not taking the risk, lads. Not this year. One strike is enough. You know what I mean? Let's be honest about it. And YouTube is inconsistent as well. I'm just not taking the risk. It's quite cool, decent costume choice. Says Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture. And his TARDIS, look, kind of suits his costume if you think about it. With the TARDIS interior, that we kind of seen the concept, and then now him in that TARDIS with that costume. I get it. I actually get it, man. It's going to be interesting. That's what I mean, TARDIS time. It's ridiculous. I know, like what you're saying. But I'm on their radar. Man, look, they don't like this channel. I've been told anyway, right? They don't like this channel, right? Because they didn't like the way I spoke about the last era of Doctor Who. So, they're just waiting to jump on that, and I do. So I have to be careful from now on. It's not my fault they didn't produce something decent for me to say. Something decent. You know what I mean? That's the thing. They gave me something that I could actually talk about positively. I would have spoke about it positively, but they didn't, in my opinion. Uh, CJ Campbell, the jumper for what I'm getting from the chat is this, right? From what I'm getting from the chat, the jumper seems to be the big issue for everybody in the chat, right? And I have seen some people on Twitter say the same, right? So, as soon as Lee sent it to me, obviously I went in, you look at the comments, right? Some people not happy with the jumper. I get it, right? But at the same time, I think that jumper, just like every other doctor, modern doctor, it's interchangeable. The costume will change up. Of course, the mainstay will be the jacket, the trousers, and obviously the footwear. But the jumper will definitely change. But the color of the jumper might change with each story, like Nines. Exactly. I think his jumper changed color when he went back to the past, and it went to a different color when he went to the future. I say that'll be the same with Ncuti's costume. Tardis Time says he'd cosplay it. Well, there you go. As apparently, are those blocks of crystallized urine gone from the TARDIS console room? Well, yes, because the TARDIS console room was leaked. The interior of the TARDIS was leaked. I put the photographs up on this channel, and I put them up on Twitter, and they were taken down by the BBC. The TARDIS interior is nothing like the old TARDIS interior. It's completely different. It looks. Do you know what it kind of looks like? It kind of looks like like a modern TARDIS, basically console room. What you would think a futuristic kind of TARDIS console room. The roundels are well, if they are roundels, they look like roundels. The roundels are back as well. So it's kind of, to me, it looks like an amalgamation of probably RTD's favorite TARDIS console rooms, I bet you, right, from the past and his own run, right? And I'll say there definitely does seem to be some influence of the First Doctor's TARDIS anyway. I can tell you that. Um, Patrick Muson has said, I just saw the costumes for Ncuti and Millie. I approve. Look, everybody, look, it happens every time a costume comes out. I think we were all unanimous about Jodie Whittaker's costume. Obviously, our side of the argument when we seen what was coming. We were all unanimous that there was nothing redeeming about that costume at all. The difference is here is that not everybody is like, oh no, I don't like it. It's like, oh, I like it, but I might have an issue here with the jumper or whatever like that, or or the color, right? They're not big deals. A thing, you know what I mean? They're not, big major things. Once fans see him in the costume, then, and if they see the interchange, even if it doesn't, normally fans will change their opinions then when they see him in action. You know what I mean? It's the same with Christopher Eccleston's. Christopher Eccleston's costume was very plain. I remember the backlash back then when the photographs were released for his costume, and people were saying it's not a Doctor Who costume, and there was murder, basically, right? Um, it's not happened this time. It's not the same thing. We're not getting the same reaction, right? We're not getting the same reaction we got to Jodie Whittaker's costume. Even Matt Smith, when they put up that promo photo, they thought that was his costume, and people were absolutely going crazy, right? So you're gonna have people out there that are gonna, you know, not like certain aspects, but I haven't seen anybody totally say, no, it's crap, having nothing to do with it. It's absolutely rubbish. Of course, there will be a few out there. I'm not that naive to think that nobody is not going to not like the costume, but I think the overall majority will like the costume. Obviously, they would like to see certain things tweaked with their costume, and that's normal. That's normal in a fandom. Fans always do that. And then fans do their own little fan art and they add their own little changes to the costume and they throw it up. You know, sometimes RTD looks at these kind of things and Ncuti might look at these things and say, oh, I actually like that. That works. You never know. You could see it. So, we'll see. It is ridiculous. I agree. We like this channel now, and we understand completely. Says Tardis time. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jumper is horrible. Too similar to the suit color. Says JWC reviews. Look what I sent you. The says problem being. I will indeed. I will have a look. Uh, let's see. Hmm. hmm. Okay. Let's see. If Twitter lets me put this up, Lee, I'll show it up. Um, and we'll see what everybody thinks. I mean, you definitely got the color scheme. Well, not the color scheme, but the design is slightly similar. I have to be honest with you. Um, but I'll show you what I'm talking about now, folks. Um, so Lee posted this 9 minutes ago. 9 minutes ago. 9 minutes ago. Right, right. So as you know, Lee does his videos and stuff like that, and obviously this is the first image. So yeah, has Shooty there, and he has him in the jacket. You'll see the jacket now, but there's Lee's logo, which is quite similar. Obviously, he was taking inspiration, Lee, from the original logo, but it's kind of funny how RTD's logo is really, really, really on the nose as well. Um, Great minds think alike. Here's the second photo. So this is the jacket that Lee kind of was saying this would kind of be the style of the jacket. And you have to give it to Lee. There's the photograph with Shooty there. I mean, it kind of looks similar, doesn't it? Absolutely. He wasn't far off. He says, I would have to agree with that assessment. Well done, Lee. Of course, as I said, great minds think alike. So, well done. Well done. Just goes to show you that you, Shooty, and RTD have an eye for clothes. Good one. Uh, let's see who we got. Disaster area saying even Capaldi had different jackets. Uh, Orange is a bit of an unusual color, but you got to think of kind of Shooty's personality and how he comes across. And he's a larger than life figure, so his costume is going to reflect him, isn't it? I think that costume reflects him perfectly, if I'm quite honest about it. I think that's exactly, what they should have went for. Um, is to reflect the costume to reflect him, and I think it does. I think it does. And the colors, the color scheme is probably a conscious one as well. Nah, 90 days, 90 days, 3 months, Daniel, 3 months. But here's the thing about it. They say 3 months, but they take their ass time taking it off. Because when I did the Spyfall stuff, do you remember? I was able to stream after the ban, but the strike remained on my channel for more than the 90 days. Like, I had to literally get in touch with them to say, hey, we're over the time here and it's still on the channel to remove it. Uh, Lee tried desperately was trying to get me attention there. Sorry, you know me once I keep talking, but we finally put it up there. Hi, Rob is in the chat. He says hi at the Tardis Zone and the Mighty Mods. Yep, the Mighty Mods. I think a blue jumper would have been good. Again, I do, as I said, I think that T-shirt or the jumper or whatever you want to call it it's going to change. Um, uh, JWC Review says brown shoes with that suit. I don't know. I know a lot of people wear black shoes, but for me that's weird. See, I'm with Shooty on this because if I wear brown trousers, which because I used to wear suits a lot, believe it or not. When I went out the weekends, I actually wore a suit, believe it or not. That's when I was flush with money and I could actually afford to actually go out and splash cash on suits. But I used to wear. I seriously, I was a weirdo for that as well. I could never wear black shoes with a brown pair with a black pair of brown shoe. No, I'm getting confused. Black shoes with a brown pair of trousers. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I know it's kind of maybe he's left-handed like me as well. Maybe it's just is he left-handed? That'd be weird because if he is left-handed, then it's weird, and we got the same mindset about shoes. I don't know. There's something about trousers and shoes have to match for me. So maybe Shooty's the same way because I'm a stickler for that. So if I wear a black suit, I will wear obviously black shoes. If I wear a brown suit, I'll wear brown shoes. Obviously, I wouldn't wear everything brown. I'd wear whatever color shirt I was wearing and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Some people I really like the shoes to start this time. And he puts a shoe there, a roll in. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, I think his African heritage has played a part as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Daniel has asked a question. Do you think the orange jumper is paying tribute to Gallifrey? Very interesting. Hmm. I don't know, but Would RTD go that far with costumes? To kind of, I don't know. We'd have again. It's an interesting question. Inspector hashtag 23 says character option figure deco applicators can be heard sobbing. Yeah, they're gonna have their work cut out for Shooty's costume, and imagine if there's going to be different variations as well. They're going to be really busy, but we'll see. Rob Fellows says his costume looks fine. I could see how a Naruto orange anime guy could be a bit much for some, and those checkered lines will cause havoc. Painting the action figures, they will. But look, I'm going to say this. I think the quality of the figures over the years um, haven't been up to scratch. Obviously, all of these licensees, they're working on a shoe budget. Um, but now with all the money that they have, I expect better merchandise now. So these shooty character figures and all of this will have to be top quality now. I mean, if you get the Star Wars figures, don't they make some? Now I'm not 100% sure because I obviously don't buy Star Wars figures, but I'm pretty sure anybody that does collect them will say that they're decent quality, better quality than the Doctor Who ones that we've been getting over the years. Anyway, there are a few companies out there that will make it a not decent doll, if that's what you want to call it, or a toy, but it's never consistent. But we need more consistency now. And I just can't wait to see what kind of villains and monsters and aliens he's going to come up with because, there's some of them that, hopefully they're good enough to buy and I can start sticking them up everywhere and have that people just come into my house and go, what the hell is going on here with what the fuck are these? Are they aliens? You know? Um, I do agree that now I will agree with Lee there. He's brought up a point about the boots, right? And I will say that, right, they're completely appropriate. But I do agree with him that they should be darker, right? The brown boots should be actually darker. So I'll absolutely on that one. And I think the orange jumper. If I was being honest about it, I don't really mind orange. I wear weird colors anyway. I used to wear salmon bleeding shorts for fuck's sake. Some people say they're pink, whatever. Right? I used to wear different mad color shorts, so I can't really talk. Right? But if that jumper was a little bit darker, orange, I think it would work better. But that's just being super critical. As I said, I don't really care. All I care about is he good in the role, right? The costume to me looks decent enough. I'm happy with it. So I just want to see him in the park now and do his thing. Lee says he's left-handed. Well, I'm left-handed as well, so there you go. Uh, Prince William apparently is left-handed as well. You know, uh, yeah. Apparently we're weirdos, Lee, but there you go. Well, not really. Now, Charlotte brings up an absolutely brilliant point. Now, guesses will he get those clothes from the TARDIS or somewhere else? Right, if you were to guess, if you were to look at that suit, what time period do you think that suit would be from? Right, think about it that way. Right, he's put on the modern boots, obviously, but think about what time period that suit could be from. Does he get it back? Does he get it in that time period, or as Charlotte says, will it be part of the big costume wardrobe that he has in the TARDIS, and he just happens to have those clothes there? Interesting one though. The Wolf and the Storm also says, very happy with the costume reveal. Simple, practical, understated, very RTD. Absolutely fantastic. So we got another happy Hoovian in the chat. Jamie has also said, wasn't sure about the orange short, but when I saw the video of him and Millie moving about in their outfits, and really like his outfit now. I will have to check that video out for myself, man, because it's annoying me. Everybody keeps talking about it. I feel like I'm missing out. Some people are talking about the 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 figures and what's to come. The Wolf and the Storm wrote, though, the artist rendering was a bit too white and cold for me, too much like a hospital or something. I would have expected from Russell a TARDIS that was much more alive, lived in, and homey. Well, yeah, I mean, we've seen an artist impression or rendition, but we haven't actually seen whether there's going to be furniture part of that or what else is going to be there. I don't know. I mean, it kind of reminds me of William Hartnell's TARDIS, and of course, obviously, we got to see that in black and white. But if we were actually able to see that in color, that TARDIS was quite bright. I think, as I said, I think RTD has taken inspiration from some TARDIS interiors and tried to blend them all together into this one. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Of course, we haven't seen the finished article yet. I reckon now everybody, we can safely say that that'll probably be the next thing to be released, because I think that's it's pretty much the main things that we'd expect as Doctor Who fans. Um, and Noel, what's the reaction like on Twitter? Right, right. Well, basically the reaction on Twitter is that Doctor Who wasn't actually trending about a half an hour ago. They were all trends, but right now, currently, we have, and I'll read out some of the comments once I get into it. So Doctor Who has 8,611 tweets now at the moment. Let's see what they are talking about. So someone says here, I love the costume. Feels like clothes, which is good. But I showed this picture to 4 year old to a 4 year old, and she said, "But Doctor Who is supposed to be a girl." Oh, so even after that, they still have to stick their agenda in because they're not happy. Dominic has put up an appreciation post for a jumper in Doctor Who. So, and he showed all the doctors that wore a jumper. Disney Plus have also put up their post, and they says, actually, I can put this up on screen because it's from Disney Plus. So this is what Disney Plus have said. Hold on, we'll just take that comment off the screen as well. So that was TARDIS Time who asked that question. So here we go. This is what Disney Plus had to say about the situation. And their post says, we have our first look at Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor and Millie Gibson as the companion. And they've got the two photographs there. So Disney Plus have also posted up. And the reason why I didn't see that is because, as you can see, I do not follow Disney Plus because I'm not a hypocrite like most people out there. You know, when they tell everybody to boycott Disney Plus, but they actually pay for Disney Plus and follow Disney Plus. I don't follow Disney Plus because I'm not a fucking hypocrite. So there you go. That's what Disney Plus had to say. So let's go back. Sorry about that little rant. It just annoys me the amount of hypocrites that we have out. Um, uh, so well, that's not the latest. So hold on, because there's a couple of post dates. It's a bit. I don't know. Maybe it's the time of the announcement, but so all right, I can see the video there now. It's just popped up for me now. So there she is doing her little dance in her costume. Okay, they seem to be in a car park somewhere. Well, I tell you, she's gonna have some fans, and there's Shooty doing his thing, and then someone saw him or something, and he start laughing there. Yeah, that costume. Look, I've looked at the jumper as well on it. It actually looks fine. It looks fine. It looks fine. Um. So yeah, the reaction that I'm seeing is, well, we got fan art already. Someone has done a bit of fan art. Um, because it's the fan art, I'm not going to stick it up though. But it looks amazing. Um, yeah, the reaction is positive. Um, you know, most of the Jolly stands and the Tassie stands haven't commented because they're obviously, they're fake fans. They're not on Twitter at the moment, but they will find out about the announcement, and then as soon as they do, then you'll see a lot of their posts. So it's a bit, while there's posts coming in now, I'm on the latest there. Um, it is a bit slow coming in. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but the reaction seems to be absolutely positive. Um, I mean, for example, we have this comment by someone that said, and this is from a woman. I just want to make this clear because just in case someone thinks it's from a bloke. What had more impact, the Resistance or the 15th Doctor shooting Gatwa's outfit? Um, some people have mentioned the orange short. I'm not going to lie. There's a couple of comments there about it. Yeah, I think people are all right with it. People are all right with it. Good news. Some people are saying the 1930s. Good guess. I just did that Tardis. I said, why don't you just watch the video? I just did that. Yeah, I don't know about the jewelry though. I have to be honest. I'm not. I'm like, I think it was it Lee that mentioned the jewelry. Yeah, I'm not. Jodie Whittaker's doctor start wearing, but Peter Capaldi wore a ring as well. I mean, look, it seems to be a thing with lately with Doctor Who with the jewelry. But again, we have to see what the jewelry looks like and see what the significance of the jewelry actually is. Um, a couple of people are telling me they're right-handed. It's a golden buzzer for me. Uh, there you go. JWC says exactly what I said. Just saw the video. The suit looks good. Even the jumper is better. It's lovely to see the obvious chemistry between the two. There's definitely chemistry between those two. Um, and he's gonna have a lot of fans, but she's gonna absolutely have loads of fans. She seems to have that personality that draws people to her, so I think she's gonna be quite good in the show. And more the fact that she's relaxed and he's relaxed and they're having a good time about it gives me a lot of confidence. A couple of people said the first Doctor War ring. Yeah, all of the yeah. That's what I'm saying. Look, I know the old doctors, but I'm saying more prevalent now because David Tennant, the doctor, didn't wear jewelry as far as I'm aware, and Christopher Eccleston's doctor didn't wear jewelry, and if I'm quite sure Matt Smith's doctor didn't wear any jewelry as far as I know. So there has been a few doctors in the New Who era that haven't actually worn jewelry. So I'm not sure about. See, I'm not sure. He's wearing a lot of it. That's the thing. He's got the two chains going on, and then he has the finger jewelry. So we have to. Jesus, you're all guys, guys. You know I've been literally watching Doctor Who, which is on this channel. These are all telling me which Doctor had jewelry. I literally just told you that three doctors in the modern era haven't wore jewelry. Like, relax the cacks, man. I know classic doctors wore jewelry. Jesus Christ, I didn't commit a crime. It's a capital crime to get anything wrong. Right. So we got a membership chat from Nicholas Horton. Hey Noel, his costume looks very doctorish, unlike Jodie's costume. And I hope the Daleks and especially the Cybermen get decent designs again. Nicholas, would you not do you not think I don't know, I'm just asking this question because obviously it's a membership chat. Would do you not think that the Daleks now and the Cybermen have kinda been overused? Because I kind of don't get me wrong. I know RTD would probably do the put. I didn't like RTD's redesign of the Cybermen anyway. I liked the Cybermen, but I never liked the redesign of them, which is the weird thing about it. So I don't know. Personally speaking, I think they've been used way too long. And we've got Mark in the chat as well. Welcome, Mark. If there's any new people in the chat, let me know and I'll give you a bit of a shout out. Can we agree that Shooty's costume is better than the imposter doctor, whatever it was supposed to be? Yes, definitely. That was a lively debate about Avatar on Friday. A lively debate on Friday Night Tights about Avatar. Yeah, not a huge fan of Avatar anyway. So you know, Capaldi wore a ring. These are all yeah, yeah, Capaldi wore a ring. But as I said, David Tennant didn't wear jewelry. Christopher Eccleston didn't wear jewelry, and as far as I'm aware, Matt Smith didn't wear jewelry. That's the point that I was just trying to make, man. Um, Jamie says, can't wait to see the TARDIS interior. Well lit and see the top part spin round like RTD wanted to do the first time he was in charge. Well, it'll be a proper 360 or what's it? Not 360, is the 180 or whatever. I always get confused by those two. But you're gonna see the whole TARDIS, like, they'll be able to do proper shots. Matt had a watch, but that was it. Well, I mean, pocket watch, it's more of an accessory than jewelry. So I'll still defend Matt Smith not wearing jewelry. I think that's more of an accessory. Um, yeah, good point, JWC reviews. Yeah. I mean, again, you know, as I said, people are not really sure about the jumper. I'm not really sure about all the jewelry. We're all going to have certain elements of the costume that we love, and certain things that we don't like. That's just the way it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a crime not for all of us not to agree on absolutely everything. If we did, it'd be pretty boring. Let's just say. Um, Maybe RTD will bring back the Slovene, then his creations, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Sea Devils again or another classic mod. Yeah, I'd like to see the Sea Devils return because Chib's redesign was actually the redesign for the Chibs era was actually pretty impressive. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that they had the lightsaber swords and they could jump really high all of a sudden, like do like Superman jump. It was a bit too much for me, but the redesign itself was actually very impressive, and I'll defend that. Actually, I did like that Sea Devils redesign. I'm not going to lie. Um, so for me, it was decent. Yeah, again, a watch is more of an accessory, not jewelry, folks. Sorry, but you have lost that argument. Ian Peter Davison is in the chat. It's been a long time since we've seen you, Ian or Peter. I hope you're doing very well, mate. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I don't know if you've seen the costume, Shooty's costume. If you have, let us know what you think. It's been a while since we've seen you. I hope you're doing well. I hope your mum is well. Uh, I agree about the Sea Devils. Um, the Scarfish jewelry. Oh, for God's sake, man! Are we really doing this? Capaldi refused to take his wedding ring off. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Um, Sonic screwdriver. Melina is waiting on now. Um, yeah, that'll be interesting to see if that. That's the next announcement. We'll have to see. Um, Nicholas again says, "Do you think we will see K9 appear on the show again? Last time we saw him was on the Sarah Jane Adventures in the care of Luke." I think anything is possible. I wouldn't be. I'd actually even say to you, I wouldn't be even surprised if K9 was to show up for the 60th anniversary. You never know. At this stage, you know, I wouldn't rule out anything. Now remember, RTD has to try win fans over. So he's not stupid. He knows what worked and what doesn't work. So scarves and hats are accessories. Matt Smith. Now, folks, come on. Listen. Bottom line is, I was right about those. He's don't want to give it to me, so he's coming up with things to make it look like he has jewelry. He didn't wear any jewelry. End the story, right? No, he had a keychain on, and a keychain isn't jewelry. Come on, use our clutching at straws there. Leave it out. You've lost the argument. Matt Smith's doctor, right? David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston didn't wear jewelry. Oh, let it go, lads. Let it go. Let it go. Look, yous are all laughing in that chat. Yous are fucking mad. Yous are fucking mad. I love yous all. This is why I even enjoy being here. Listen, if I was watching from the outside, I'd enjoy this channel. I'm not being big headed or anything, but I would because of you guys in the chat. Yous are funny as fuck, man. Excuse me language. No, not excuse me language. That's who I am. It's part of me, I suppose. I'm not reading that comment out, Mark, but but oh my god, people are so funny. People are so funny. The phone box is jewelry. Jeez, you can put. Yeah. Right. Well, technically, Jodie Whittaker's had crystal in it. So if you think about the TARDIS was a jewelry box. Peter says Hartnell had silver Roman ring too. It is nice to see you, Peter, though, I have to say. All the way from Australia, folks. All the way from Australia. The chat is rebelling. The chat can rebel all they want. Right? The chat can rebel. This is not a democracy. Right? This is a dictatorship. So if people want to rebel, go ahead. What happens to rebellions? They get squashed. Jodie Whittaker wore an earring. Yes, I know. She wore an earring. And didn't she regenerate with it? No, she didn't regenerate with the earring. But did she take the earring on or off? Or did she, when she was regenerating, or did David's doctor basically regenerate without the earring? Do you know what, Nicholas? I wouldn't be surprised if that is what's going to happen. Maybe that's the time period where he gets the clothes from. If he doesn't get them in the TARDIS wardrobe room, he probably gets it in that time period, Baker Street. I wouldn't be surprised. At TARDIS time is asking, will the companion wear jewelry? Well, more than likely she's a young woman, and young women like wearing jewelry and stuff. Well, all women actually. Well, not all women. Most women like wearing jewelry. I suppose it's a thing. So I'm pretty sure she might. You never know. Is Hartnell's wig an accessory? It absolutely was, yes. Lee says he can confirm it's a dictatorship. Thank you very much for the vote of confidence, mate. Um, there goes. I'm looking for a new co-host now because I'm just at the kicking off me co-host live now on this stream. So if anybody would like to take Lee's place as me co-host for Friday night contact, let me know. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. We need a new leader. Yeah. Well, you know what they say. Be careful what you wish for, folks. Be careful what you wish for. Because remember, I just want to remind all Doctor Who fans of this little fact is that by the end of Stephen Moffat's era, we were all calling for his head. Actually, we were calling for his head. A lot of fans on both sides, because we've split now into different factions. But most fans were unanimous that Moffat needed to go, right? And what happened? Moffat left, and look what we got. So it's not always greener on the other side. Remember that, folks. So be careful what you wish for. Jury has been Time Lord High Technology, says Peter Davison. See, dictatorship. Melina says me with a laughy emoji, but then she writes then, nah, Lee is the best. Lee is the best. That's it. You're right. I being honest, like people know there are a few people that I will go to first if I'm ever doing that new. Lee is one of them, and of course, it was only right that I'd be Lee anyway. And now, as I said, yeah. So I kind of made the announcement on Twitter. It's no big, huge announcement, but basically, what's going to be happening from January is all the streams now are going to be scheduled, so you will have a timetable. A lot of people have been calling, especially the last year, telling me that I should schedule these streams and have a proper timetable. So that's what I'm going to do over the Christmas. I'm going to lay out the 7 days in the week, and then I'm going to start putting in the streams on the days that we're going to be doing them, and it'll be on at the same time every week. If obviously if family matters or anything pops up and if things change, I will let you know. But it'll be whatever they're scheduled at. Now you already know one stream is already confirmed to be scheduled every Friday at 9 p.m. If you're in the UK and Ireland, that's 9 p.m. Um, and it's Friday Night Contact. So Friday Night Contact is back fully now, and I'm going to be joined every week with Lee. Problem being, as you know, Matt, Cultivated Media, or formerly Bald Street. Chris is going to be joining me each Friday, and we're going to be basically talking about whatever's hot out there, and not so hot things as well, because people overlook a lot of things, and we'll be talking about stuff. We'll be giving our opinion, whether it's DC, Marvel, whether the lads have their own topics that they want to bring up. Obviously, if there's stuff out there that they want to talk about, that's exactly what we'll be doing. So that'll be every Friday. We're back to the Friday night slot. A lot of people have been like actually bemoaned me at the time. I think it was 2 years ago now at this stage where I made the decision to not stream on a Friday because I wanted to take the weekend off. That was the biggest mistake that I made. I can openly admit that. Friday nights was very popular with a lot of people, and everybody used to look forward to watching before people bounced on to Friday night tights. So we're back to Friday nights where this channel belongs, in my opinion. And I've got two great blokes with me to stream with me, and we're going to basically do what we always do. We'll talk about things, and we don't always talk about negative things. We did have some positive things to say, and we do. We're not going to just focus on negative things. As I said last night, because Disney gets bashed all the time, and rightly so, because they have been producing a lot of shit. But in between all of that, there are little nuggets, bright sparks and some shows that are slipping under the radar because everybody is focused on all of the negative. So we're not always negative. We try to make suggestions as well. There's a couple of suggestions of TV shows and stuff that were mentioned last night as well on the channel. So we really do try to talk about everything and give our opinion. And the thing about it is that the reason why I asked Chris and Lee to do it is because I know that the three of us don't always have the same opinions, and that has been demonstrated. And I think that's important to have people on that are not always going to agree with your opinion and will have a different opinion. And I think that's the way to go with YouTube channels anyway. If every guest is agreeing with the same guest, and then the next guest is saying their piece, but it's exactly the same what the other person said, except they framed it a different way, that's not balance. We criticize the media out there for not being balanced. We criticize our TV shows and our movies for not being balanced, but YouTubers are actually starting to do the same thing. They're not being balanced. So we do try on this channel. We don't always get it right. It's not perfect, right? This channel is not perfect, but we do try to strike a balance. You know what I mean? And that's what we'll continue to do. So I'm glad the two lads are on board. And don't worry, in the new year when we get into the full flow, as I said, when we're a couple of months gone with it, and we feel confident with it that it's doing well, then we'll start bringing on special guests to join the three of us, and we'll run with it. But I don't want to have too many guests on. I want to limit it to obviously us three, and then a special guest. Say have four on a stream each week. Any more than that, I think it's different when you do watch alongs and stuff like that, or we're talking about major issues in the fandom and stuff like that. But this is different because, like, the less people that's on, you know what I mean. You can get to hear everybody's full opinion and then hear the responses to that, and then everybody in the chat then, you know, can debate it and see which side they fall on and stuff like that. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're gonna do. Um, so that's it. Obviously, we'll be here as we always do, New Year's Eve, because I mean, me and Cheryl don't go out New Year's Eve, so we'll probably do a New Year's Eve stream. It's not 100% nailed down. Just leave it with me. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay to do a New Year's Eve stream because we've done one for the last couple of years anyway. Cheryl, I think, joined me for last year's one. So we'll probably have a New Year's stream, and as I said, we'll be here Christmas Day. But from January, we will be scheduling the streams. You will have our timetable. You will know when the streams are on. I will post it up on Twitter. I'll post it up on Facebook, and I will post it up on this YouTube channel and let you know what the new schedule is. And yeah, join me for it because it'll be absolutely brilliant. And then obviously, then when the RTD era comes along and we're in full swing with the 60th, then we'll be obviously adding more streams to the calendar, let's just say. And we'll do what we have to do. So that's what that's what the plan is anyway. So And Teddy was with us as well. Oh, by the way, Teddy update. So I told everybody the other day and last night Ted wasn't feeling well. He's had a bit of a upset stomach and he's been drinking loads of water and throwing it up to get whatever's in his stomach out of his stomach and stuff. And as I said, he wasn't feeling well. But this morning we woke up and Ted was feeling a little bit more chipper. Um, and then by the time we got to midday, he was running around the place like a mad lunatic, like the old Ted. And he even had something to eat today. So we can truly say that Ted is on the mend. But I tell you, man, it's not nice when your dog is sick. And if anybody owns a dog, and has a dog as part of the family, you know what it's like to be a dog owner. Same whether you're a cat owner or any animal lover. If your dog, your pet is sick, right? It's horrible because they can't tell you what's wrong with them. You know what I mean? And you just want to be able to, take away their pain and stuff. Now he wasn't in pain, or that was the weird thing about it. That's how we knew it was definitely a stomach bug because he wasn't wincing in pain or anything like that, and he wasn't touching his food. And for anybody that knows Ted, he never refuses food. But today he had his food and he seems to be a little bit better. So yeah, little lunatic he is. But actually it got a bit too much when we woke up, right? And we're up for a couple of hours and then I was like, oh, do you know what? I love a coffee. And I have coffee here and I can make my own coffee. Like I have the proper coffee. I don't drink any of that jarred shit or canned shit, Get proper coffee. I buy proper coffee. And Jared was like, come on, we go down to the cafe and we'll have a sandwich and a cup of coffee. So that's what we did. We had a nice sandwich and a cup of coffee today just to get out of the house. He's a bad lunatic. Then when we were eating our dinner, you know how we knew he was back to normal? We start eating. Yeah, you look like Cleopatra. Look. What the fuck are you? Hold on, have you been in the room all of this time just sitting at the mirror doing your eye makeup? Yeah. Oh my god, you look nice though. Those are fake. What? With my fake lashes. You have fake eyelashes and all on? You can see this? Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, you want to give me a kiss? Oh, thank you very much. Right. I know. I'm sorry, my paw print leggings. Yeah, paw print leggings she has, yeah. He's on his way. Right. Hey everyone, I'm going to be live with Spiritual YouTuber at 9:30 if anybody is interested. There you go. There's another stream for you to check out. And I do want to get Jack on the channel again, actually. So I was supposed to do me Doctor Who watch along today, but obviously this news turned up. So Jack, if you're available anytime over the weekend, we're already on what's a Friday now, isn't it? No, it's Saturday night. Jesus Christ, I'm a day off. Well, if you're available anytime in the next couple of days, Jack, let me know. Now, unfortunately, the Doctor Who watch along episode that's next is the widow and the Doctor, the widow and the wardrobe, or whatever the bleeding stupid episode is called. But if you want to join me for that one, you're more than welcome to join me for that. So let me know what you're doing, and if you want to do it, as I says, send us a DM, yeah. And as Lee has put the link up to Jack's channel as well, and go and support Jack. He puts up some great videos, and he did put up a poll to ask people what they'd like to see. Would they like to see some variation on his channel? And a lot of us in the chat said, look, it's your channel. Do what makes you happy. So it's good to see you doing something different, mate. I'll pop in myself. I'll be in the chat there, mate. see what all of this is about. Maybe I need a bit of spiritual guidance, man, because I can get a bit stressed out like I did last night over everybody picking on John Barrowman. I probably need to uh, seek some spiritual guidance. I mean, I was watching I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, and Boy George was doing his spiritual stuff, and it seems to work. So, and there's an Irish pop star over here. She's not a pop star anymore. She's gone into this spiritual thing. Her name is Hazel. I'll actually send you the link, Jack, because it'd probably be someone that you'd probably be interested in getting on the channel. She was in an Irish pop band called Dove. They had a few singles. I've seen them a few times in Marley Park. I've even interacted with her on YouTube. Um, she's uh, she's a great singer. I actually like her voice. But when I was obviously when I told you when I was going through my rough patch in my life, I was living in a hostel over in a posh part of Dublin. That's the thing that that kind of pisses me off about that, right? If you're homeless or you end up, uh, whatever the circumstances are, and you end up on the streets, right? They put you in a hostel, and they always put you in a hostel in this uptown place, where all the posh people live. And obviously, they hate the fact that there's a bleeding hostel there, and they look down on you. But it's extra torture because like you're down rock bottom, and all these people are flying high, and they've got their paying their bills with their credit cards, and they're shopping with their credit cards, and they're going around in their sports cars. It's bleeding horrible. I can tell you, when you're rock bottom, it's horrible, right? But you know what? I was never gonna stay rock bottom, right? You crawl your way out of that shit. And listen, I'm gonna tell you all, you will all go through a period in your life. Not everybody will hit rock bottom, but at some point, some people do get very low and stuff like that. Let me tell you, for someone that's been through a lot, right? You will get through the other side, but it takes a lot of determination, self determination. When you're rock bottom, the only person that can help you really is yourself, and then other people then see that you're trying to help yourself, and then they will offer that help. And that's what happened with me. And I was able to get myself on the straight and narrow, and it didn't take long. And within 4 years, I had my own place. And then, of course, then I get my own place. And then, obviously, a few years later, then I meet this one here that I'm married to on one of the Facebook groups. And then the rest is history. We've got our own apartment now. Obviously, I'm married. So things can, So when you're at your lowest ebb, folks, never think that that's it. It's not. It's not. Life can get better, and trust me, it does. It doesn't matter what's going on in society or acting like that, right? Me and Cheryl, the reason why we get on so well is because we get each other. We don't take each other too seriously. You know, we've had a rough patch. I'm not going to lie, every marriage goes through it, but we were able to get through that together by doing it together, though. And if you're not pulling in the same direction, then you're doomed. But if you are, and you've got someone that's willing to pull in the same direction, then you're on to a good one there. Um, that woman has changed my life. Um, I love her to bits, but I'm gonna stop getting sloppy now. Sloppy. Jesus. Anyway, Ian Peter Davison says, he says, Noel, I will send you a catch up email. Best wishes to everyone in the chat. A 20 Australian dollar super chat. Yeah, please do, because I am actually checking my emails a little bit more than I normally used to be quite honest with you, because it's actually important, because I've realized that people have been sending me messages on emails, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just pretty bad at that sort of stuff when it comes to emails. I just fucking hate bleeding that sort of stuff, but it needs to be done, doesn't it? So yeah, check out Jack's channel. As I said, absolutely brilliant, and I'm glad, as I said, that he's branching out and doing everything that he makes him happy. Because that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. No problem, man. Listen, at the end of the day, it's your channel, right? Um, and you do whatever makes you happy. You know what I mean? That's the best way to enjoy YouTube. Trust me, if you start doing YouTube and it feels like a slog, and it did for me, I'm being very open with everybody here on this channel. I've told you the times when it's felt like a slog, right? And I wasn't enjoying doing what I was doing because of all the negativity that was aimed towards me as well. That wasn't helping. But it is very important to do the things that make you happy first and foremost. Um, and then if people like what you do and they see and listen, as I said, you come across as a nice, honest guy, a bit like myself. I am honest. I don't even know why I'm laughing at that because that is true. But be yourself, and do what makes you happy. And it doesn't matter what others say. Always do what makes you happy. Of course, if you're married, you have to think of the other person, but you're not married, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. Not yet, anyway. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, "We love you, Noel." Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Oh, Jesus, that episode, Pray for Noel. Um, oh, Jesus. I sent you a DM as well. I did. I got your DM. I got your DM. I was about to reply back to you when Lee sent me the bleeding message about Shooty's costume. So we got sidetracked. But yeah, we'll, as I said, we will be setting up the schedule, and then if, obviously you're the first name to come forward, so you're top of the list. So if anybody would like to come on the channel, let me know. As I said, we will be scheduling the streams ahead of schedule, so everybody has a timetable, and we want to announce the guests before the stream so people can see who we're going to have on to try generate, obviously, a little bit more hype for the stream, because that's what it's all about, really. You want to get people to watch. So yeah, so that's what we want to do. And of course, we will be trying to bring on other people as well that have never been on the channel. Myself and Lee were discussing that. Well, Lee was discussing that with me off stream. So that's what we're going to do. Charlotte has put her name forward as well. So I better start writing these fucking names down, shouldn't I, before I go any further. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Do you know what? I'll send it to myself on Messenger, because I'm on Messenger all the time. As you know, I post me stuff, videos on Messenger as well for anybody that's in the chat with me. So we have Cinnamon top of the list. And don't worry, we will be finishing. I know people are probably wondering what's happened to the watch alongs. Look, there's just so much that has gone on, and then the World Cup kind of distracted everything as well, because I do watch me football. Um, but I will be bringing them back. They will be coming back. So prepare yourselves if you are on the panels, because they will be coming back. Because we're going to finish what we started. Because as I said, we're on the Peter Capaldi era now, aren't we? We're on the Peter Capaldi. Did we start the Peter Capaldi? Yeah, we did. We started the Peter Capaldi era, so we want to finish that, because, as I said, we were going to finish that anyway, um, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we've got Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Queen Charlotte have come to me, so I have them on the list now. So there you go. Done, 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 done. So as I said, we got 27 people watching at the moment. We will be heading off shortly, not just yet. But if you want to smash that like button for me, I'd absolutely appreciate it. And also, as I said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Um, on the second series of Peter Capaldi now, we did actually finish the fourth season, didn't we? Pretty sure. I'll have to go back and look. It's been a what? It's been that long. But yeah, season 9. Yeah, because I think we were all saying we were looking forward to season season 9. Um, and there seems to be a bit of a reaction to people knowing that Chris is going to be back doing streams on Twitter, which is nice to see. Obviously, he'll be here and he's appearing on uh, another channel as well, Dan's channel. So you'll be on over the weekend. So on both channels. So yeah, check him out. So he's still doing some streams. He just hasn't done the set up his own or start doing streams on his own YouTube channel again. Um, which is sad in a way, but the fact that he's coming on and doing his thing. Um, Daniel says, "Don't worry, mate. I've been hooked on the World Cup too. I know. Yeah, I can't wait for the final tomorrow. It's going to be a cracker. I'm kind of conflicted, right? Because we got two Manchester United players in each squad, and also on the other side you have Kylian Mbappe, who's tore it up in the tournament, but you've also have Lionel Messi, who's been tearing it up in the tournament as well, and the fact that it's his last ever probably World Cup because he's in his late 30s now, and Cristiano Ronaldo won the European Championship with Portugal, even though he was injured, but they still won it. He still got his medal because he did play in it. He just got injured and couldn't play the final, but he still won a major international trophy. Now I know Lionel Messi, they did win the Copa America, didn't they, or something? They eventually won that Argentina, but the World Cup for Messi would be the pinnacle. So on one hand, I kind of fancy the French. On another hand, I'm kind of like, for all the history and the legend that he is, Lionel Messi lifting that World Cup, I think, would be a fairy tale ending. But at the same time, you got that young player in Mbappe. Giroud has played well. Fucking Griezmann has played well. Chouamini. I mean, there's just so many good stories to this final. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I tell you that anyway. Um, yeah, as I said, if people want to be on, just send me a message, man. Don't tell me in here. I mean, obviously Queen Charlotte is heading off. Will be heading off later, so she could tell me here. But if anybody else, if you're on Twitter and you follow me on Twitter, tell me, send me a DM. As I said, Cinnamon already sent me a DM. Just send me a DM, let me know, and then I'll let you know what days are ready. Because remember, it's not a bring these all on at the same time. So as I said, the first person that will be coming on will be Cinnamon. Then the week after that, then it'll be Charlotte, and then the week after that, it'll be whoever then gets in touch with me. That's how we're going to do it. So let me know. France will do Argentina. Don't have enough about them, says Scottish Lad Ross and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture. Well, if you look at the football and point of it, I do agree with you, but it's the World Cup and it can happen. I mean, Messi has turned it on, and he's still dangerous. So I wouldn't rule them out completely. And you've got Martinez, which is a Manchester United defender in the heart of that defence that Jamie Carragher wrote off. Is actually has actually done very, very well. So I wouldn't be I wouldn't rule them out totally, but the edges with France, yeah. Anyway, enough of the football. I got your email there, Peter. Yeah, I've just read your email. That's absolutely disgraceful, Peter. Hopefully there's there's some resolution to that, but that's bang out of order. Um, Disaster area says Argentina to win on penalties. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want the chat to get flooded with football because there's some people in the chat that don't like football. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, it'll be interesting. It's going to be exciting. Nicholas Horton is off now. He says good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening, weekend, and stay warm. Yes, stay warm because it's absolutely feckin' freezing out there. And yeah, the temperatures really dropped. Thanks, Nicholas, for coming in and for the membership chat. Really appreciate it. I will see you soon, pal. Have a good night. Um, So yeah, that's basically it. So Shooty's costume was being revealed, and Millie's obviously the thing that she the clothes she's going to be wearing in the very first episode, uh, or maybe first couple of episodes. But she will change it up, obviously. She'll wear different clothes like all the companions do, but that'll be obviously the first costume that we'll see her in. People are happy. The majority of people seem to be pretty pleased with the costume. There is a few nitpicks that everybody has, but that's normal. That's not, you know what I mean? It's not a crime for anybody to have a nitpick about the costume out there. It's not the end of the world, and don't let anybody tell you is any different. You're entitled to use our opinions. As I said, we all have things that we actually really like about the costume, and some things, as we said, that we will nitpick, and that's normal in any costume reveal. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I cannot wait now for this 60th anniversary to happen so we could see what Shooty gives us. But I'm looking forward to David Tennant and Catherine Tate. By the way, just before we do leave, I want to leave on this note because I told Lee this last night. So apparently there's a Reddit rumor going around that's being reported by the other side. It's funny that they're that the other side seem to report from Reddit a lot, but we won't read too much into that. I've already gave my theory about that I think that they're actually getting people to throw stuff up deliberately on Reddit so they can go and report it then as a rumor and get all the views for their channel. But that's just my opinion, and that's what I think people are doing. But here's the rumor, right? And this is why I'm calling bullshit on this rumor, because everybody in the chat, when I say this, you are actually going to tell me that it's absolute bullshit. So here we go. Here's the rumor. So according to the latest Reddit leak, or rumor, or whatever you want to call it, or absolute bullshit, David Tennant and Catherine Tate, apparently there's been a leaked scene or leaked footage of a scene with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. And get this, the leak says that they absolutely have no screen chemistry. They've no chemistry, apparently. David Tennant and Catherine Tate do not have any chemistry. Now, I'll say that again, right? And then you can laugh. David Tennant and Catherine Tate don't have any chemistry. Now, another part of that rumor is apparently the CGI, the person that's putting this out, that's seen the footage, is saying that the CGI is very bad. Right? Now, this is being reported by channels, and I'll say it out straight. This is being reported by channels that have been fans of the last era, or have defended the last era, or have called out people that haven't liked the era. So those type of people, or people that have sat on the fence, or people that have had their opinions but have sat on the fence so they get an easy ride, are all reporting on that rumor, right? Now, the fact that they're reporting on a bullshit rumor just goes to show you what they're all about. They're all about the clicks and the views in the video. Because there is no way in hell that David Tennant and Catherine Tate don't have any chemistry. Right? They had chemistry when they worked on The Runaway Bride. They had chemistry when they worked on season 4 of Doctor Who. They even had chemistry when David Tennant turned it up on the Catherine Tate show for that. What was it? Was it Children in Need or Red Nose Day? I don't know which one it was. Right? And then another thing, which again, and I'll give you the reason why I'll tell you that this is definitely from a Jodie Whittaker fan pretending to put stuff out there. Right? Is they say that the CGI was actually bad. Now, Jodie Whittaker's era has been praised, as we know, for the visuals, right? And we've even, on most occasions, been okay with the visuals. It looks pretty, but it was actually pretty shit when it comes to the writing and the character development and stuff like that. But it looked pretty. This is definitely for someone who is a Jodie Whittaker fan and from an era, because the rumor starts off with, well, a friend of mine heard from another friend who heard it from a friend who told me that they had seen a scene with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, and they had a bad on-screen chemistry, and there was a part in it with bad CGI. That clearly shouts to me a Jodie stan. Right? Now, we've seen it. We even reported about it on this channel, that there were people out there, there's a person out there that was actually making up fake rumors by the bucket load and throwing up new rumors every day on Reddit, right? And all the channels, including mine, were reporting on them. Now, remember, we always said to you about Reddit leaks to take them with a huge pinch of salt, right? But we still did all report on them, right? There was a time where I refused to report on them, but then everybody started reporting on them, and people on the channel kept bringing up about the Reddit leaks, and then I decided, right, I'll cover them. Let's see where these go. Right? So all of these YouTubers were reporting on all of these Reddit leaks, including myself, as I said. And then within a couple of weeks, someone had figured out that all of these rumors, even though they were being put up by different accounts, were coming from the same place. Don't ask me how they found out, but they did. Right? But then, as brazen as you like, the person that was actually making up all the rumors did a video on his YouTube channel to tell everybody that he was making up the rumors. And here's the kicker. He's friends with someone who used to be on this channel that stabbed me in the back. And guess what? That person that stabbed me in the back was actually reporting on those very same fucking rumors. So this is what's happening here, right? Someone came into the chat the other day and said Whoopi Goldberg was confirmed, right? No such thing. No such thing. Now, they probably heard it off someone else, and this is what I'm trying to say to you all, and I've said to you from day one. If the Mirror newspaper is reporting on it, more than likely it's true, right? More than likely, right? Not 100%, but more than likely, right? But if you want official confirmation from anything, it's the BBC press office that you wait for, or Disney Plus. They all make the announcement at the same time, it looks like, or close anyway. But if it doesn't come from any of the official Doctor Who official accounts, or Disney Plus, or the BBC press office, it's not confirmed. And any YouTuber out there that's telling you it is confirmed, I will say it like I've always said it, they're lying through their backsides. They don't know what they're talking about. It is not confirmed. Remember, there's been a lot of bullshit out there the last few years that people were adamant they were right about, right? And it turned out they were absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And all of these people that say, oh, we're the ones to give you the rumours, no, the Tardis zone is lying. Look at their channels. What rumours have they actually got right? At least I have a track record of getting things right. They have zero track record. But I've always said to you, wait for official confirmation. Always wait for official confirmation, folks. Even when I report stuff, I say, listen, this isn't official. Take it with a pinch of salt. You know, it's not fact. It's rumour, right? And still people didn't get that and say, oh, look, I know, Tarzan saying this, but he was wrong about this. Did I say it was fact? If I came out and start saying it was fact, then fair enough. But I never do. Anyway, we see Queen Charlotte is gone, and I think that's my cue to also go. It's a nice time to leave the 2-hour mark. So, as I said, go and join Jumping Jack Rabbit in a half an hour. He's going to do a stream. Go and check out Scottish Stavros and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture. And as I said, you know, Chris will be here on this channel, and he's also on Type 40 as well. So check them out. And a special shout out to Gobby Guy as well. Go and check out his channel also. And I shall talk to you all very soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I am off now. I don't think there's any traitors tonight, so I'm kind of pissed about that. Have to wait. Yeah, I might play a bit of zombies or something later, or I don't know. Might just chill and watch a Christmas movie. I'll see what the mood brings me. Anyway, I'll see you later, folks. Right? As I said, enjoy your weekend. And it's nearly fucking over. I've lost all track of time and reality. It happens. It happens. Good night, folks. Have a good one. See you soon.